welcome to In Our Schools. I'm Katrina Heeman. We're here today at West High to talk with Jane Kemp-Ulfers, who is the Health Services Facilitator at one of the academies. We're going to learn how students can choose from different academies that focus on their specific interest areas. Please make sure that you look at our district website to find out more about the other district academies. We're here now with Jane Kemp-Ulfers, and you are the Health Services Facilitator at West, correct?
That's right.
And so what do you do in your role as facilitator?
Well, as a facilitator, I work with students, teachers, the administrator of our academy, and the counselor, and our purpose is to improve student achievement.
And you have quite a few students that you're facilitating, correct?
Right. We have over 400 in our academy.
Wonderful. So what would a student learn in the Health Services Academy?
Well, of course, they learn the basics of math, science, English, social studies, but also we're hoping to have an emphasis on health-related information.
And taking the normal core classes, like you just mentioned, there's a spin to that, correct, where you focus on the health services aspect of that?
Well, we're moving toward that. We're not quite there yet. But as we're developing new curriculum, there'll be curriculum especially for health sciences, but also, like you said, in our core classes, it may be, I'm teaching Romeo and Juliet. And when we deal with the idea of the drug that Juliet takes, we might do some nonfiction reading regarding drugs that may put you in that kind of state.
So putting what you're learning in the classroom into the real world, into that field of study that they're focusing on.
That's exactly right.
Which is wonderful. Why do I need math?
Why do I need math? What does science mean to me in everyday life? Those kinds of things.
That is great for kids to actually get the connection.
Right. I hope so.
Well, and if a student wanted to go into the Health Services Academy, what type of interest would you suggest they have?
Well, I'm not so sure about interest. Of course, they'd like to have, they'd be interested in people. I think it's more of a skill-based thing. Are they compassionate people? Do they have good critical thinking skills? Communication skills, written and oral communication skills. Then, of course, depending on what kind of job you want, of course, you might need science and math.
You always have to have those, don't you?
That's right. And a lot of the people that I've been talking with talk about the importance of written and oral communication, too.
That is really becoming important nowadays, especially with social media.
Exactly.
And you are also having some speakers coming in from the community, and what type of fields are they in that they're speaking about?
Well, we had our first speaker today, and we combined both health and human services. We had a sergeant from the Waterloo Police Department come in, and she is the supervisor of the lab. She talked with the students about forensics, which, of course, they're all interested in.
So I bet that really captured their interest.
Mm-hmm. Now, a few of them were confused and wondered what that had to do with health, but she did talk about the science base to that, too.
Well, that's great, showing how different types of jobs can pull in all kinds of interest from different academies as well. You don't have to be pigeonholed into one. Basically.
Right, and in forensics, when you look at criminology and also the health services.
And you also eventually, I think, are going out and having internships with jobs in the Cedar Valley. Is that right?
That's in development right now. We haven't quite done that yet, but we are working on that. We will have an advisory council with people in the community, and that's one of the ways that we'll make those connections with the community.
So what type of businesses would you be looking at for internships?
I would assume hospitals, doctors' offices, and of course with the health sciences we have to be careful because there are all the HIPAA laws and those kinds of things. So, you know, they can't be in the doctor's office with the patient, but they might understand how a doctor's office works or what happens in a hospital, not just as far as a nurse or a doctor, but the other things that happen in the hospital.
That sounds exciting.
I think so.
And I know working from the district offices that there's been a lot of interest from the community to have students come in and either intern or job shadow.
Well, the more prepared we can have students when they go out either to school or on the job, the better it is for all of us.
So besides the obvious of doctors' offices, hospitals, what type of fields or jobs could students go into right out of high school?
I looked into that, and an optician might be one of the things. We also are going to have animal sciences in our academy, so a vet tech, physical therapy aide, CNA. There is a great need for CNAs now, so of course home health workers. There are all kinds of jobs for people just out of high school. Of course they have to have some on-the-job training, but for the most part they can just leave high school and have a job.
Wonderful. Well, and I know we like to promote local colleges, but because your field for the Academy is a little more specified, there might be certain colleges to go to. Which ones would you suggest?
Well, we have some great public universities, but we also have some great private universities in the state. I think Luther, Wartburg, they tout often their ability to get students into med school, of course. We have Allen College here. We have Hawkeye Community College. You know, we're very lucky in this area. There are a lot of colleges.
And so when the student graduates from a 2- or 4-year college with the health services field, what types of careers could they look into then?
Of course, doctor, a nursing kind of program, ophthalmologist, any of those kinds of things. There are so many things out there for people now that, you know, I think one of the fields, radiology, may be one, a radiology tech kind of person, respiratory tech, all of those things are out there now.
So it sounds like it's small when you talk about an academy, but all the different opportunities are just practically endless.
Right, and we always get teased that we are the one, that we have one career pathway, but in our pathway there are so many jobs.
Oh, you've just explained a whole bunch. And I know that the academies have taken a different look and feel at the high schools. What do you like best about the academy atmosphere?
Well, as a teacher myself, because I still teach, I like having contact with all kinds of teachers. It used to be that we had most of our contact with our same department. This way I get to work with math teachers and science teachers and social studies teachers. We also have a lot better communication, I think, with the academy system.
And what do you hope students take away from their experience of going through academies here?
I hope they're prepared. I hope that we have them. Maybe the best thing that we do is to teach them what they don't want to be. So if they get a chance to go out and they find out that they don't like blood, maybe medicine is not for them. So, you know, I think sometimes we think we know what we want to be, but until we get a chance to see what that really is, we may not exactly know. So I think we'll have them better prepared.
And I think that's excellent from a parent standpoint of not necessarily wasting money, but having a student pursue a career in college and then find out midterm, oh, I don't like that anymore, and there's 2 years down the drain.
I think that's exactly right, and that's our goal, to at least have them prepared for the future.
And give them an idea.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. This is very exciting talking about all these academies, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks a lot.